Posted by you/midden1ght_storm. Finally found out my girlfriend slept with her childhood friend she said wants to be with. 6 weeks since D-Day and 16 days since the split, and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Apologies in advance for the very long post. 16 days ago, I went through my first serious breakup from a LTR. For some context about our relationship, for the better part of 5 years, we were long-distance partners. She, 25F, is from the West Coast, I, 25M, am from the East Coast, and we met on study abroad. We did everything we could to maintain a strong relationship despite the distance, promising each other that one day we'd have a chance to live together and to start a future. In the later stages of our relationship, we so often talked about spending our lives together. As a teenager and a college student, I had so often struggled to find relationships, and knowing I'd found a woman who loved me and wanted to spend her life with me was proof that I could finally put my teenage and adolescent demons in the rear-view mirror. A few months ago, after nearly half a decade of only seeing each other every 3 to 6 months, our plan to live together finally became a not-so-distant reality. She was starting vet school in California and found an apartment where we could both live. I was more than ready to move out there, to find a new job, to start the phase of our life where we could finally be together physically and not just emotionally. She was the woman I wanted to spend my life with. The woman I wanted to marry. The woman I wanted to see the world with. But with one horrible decision, arguably the best 5 years of my life came crashing down. 6 weeks ago, which was 6 weeks before vet school started for her and 2 to 3 months before I was planning to move in, she cheated on me with a childhood friend. To be honest, I should have seen it coming from a mile away because the red flags were present long before D-Day. During the year leading up to D-Day, she had occasionally mentioned that she'd wondered what it would be like hook up with him. She'd had dreams about it and couldn't curb the unconscious thoughts, but she always dropped it when it was clear that I wasn't comfortable with it. The night before she left to visit him, she once again asked how I felt about it. I put my foot down and I told her that if she chose to sleep with him, it would hurt me immensely and I wouldn't be okay with it. She reassured me that she would never do anything to jeopardize our relationship and that I was totally justified in asking her not to do such a thing. Despite my fears, I didn't stop her from visiting him, because I'm not a controlling person. Maybe I should have. The next night, she got drunk and slept with him. It turned my world upside down. I was in shock that she would choose to defile my trust just weeks before we were planning to start our life together. For a month, I tried to find every reason I could to forgive and reconcile, but every time I expressed my needs, they were met with emotional outcry. She said all the right things, but did few of them. She told me that she wanted to make things right no matter what it took, that she regretted her decision immensely, and that she was willing to do whatever I deemed was best for me. To her credit, she stopped talking to him, and she even restarted therapy to try to get to the bottom of why she made the decision she did. I thought she was truly making an effort to win me back, but when push came to shove, she still refused to acknowledge my needs. When I finally admitted to her that I wasn't ready to move out with her yet because of the healing I still needed to do, she blew up and refused to even discuss my request. She burst into tears, told me she didn't want to talk to me, and hung up the phone on me. Seeing her so emotional made me recoil, and instead of sticking to my guns, I caved, just as she wanted me to. I told her that I would be willing to go visit her, that I loved her, and that it would be okay for us to set a new move-in date. Some of those things were at least partially, but not completely, or even mostly, true, and I said them to protect myself from further emotional harm and manipulation and not because I truly believed them. Shortly thereafter, I got fed up with her attempts to emotionally control me, and I grew the courage to put an end to our relationship. When I told her I needed to move on, she once again became hostile. She told me she hated me, that I was awful for giving her false hopes, and then she hung up on me again. She texted me afterwards to apologize for yelling at me and to pull the "I'll do anything to make this work" card, but I finally said enough is enough, and I told her it was time for me to move on. It was such a terrible way for nearly 5 years of our relationship to flame out. For 2 weeks after the breakup, I thought I was fine. I told myself that I didn't deserve what she did to me, that the way she treated me and manipulated me was unacceptable, and that I was right to move on when she refused to discuss my needs. In my heart, I still believe those things, but 2 nights ago, there was a huge trigger. That brought about the emotional crash I thought I had managed to avoid. That night, I got an email notification from Facebook saying that she had posted a status. Being the curious, still not entirely over it fool that I am, I didn't have enough restraint and self-respect to stop myself from looking. That was a huge mistake because it made me all kinds of angry, conflicted, and confused. First and foremost, the post was about her starting vet school, which was painful enough as I began to realize that even though she screwed up our relationship, she gets to move on with her life as planned, and it's me who is left picking up the pieces. I'm the one sitting at my parents' house trying to figure out my job, my future, and my relationships, while she gets to move on with the exact plan she had. Feeling that complete inequity was plenty painful and enraging enough, but she also went out of her way to play the victim card in her post. Her words were, "The past month and a half and especially the past 2 weeks have been extremely challenging for me, and I want to extend a special thanks to people X, Y, and Z for putting up with me calling them in tears on a regular basis." Obviously, there was no mention of me, and I wouldn't expect there to be. But my problem lies here. When we were talking about what happens next during the time between her cheating and the breakup, she admitted that she hadn't told her friends and some of her family about what she did because she was too ashamed. While I appreciate that she feels shame about what she did, I now fear that she's not going to be strong enough to come clean about her decision, which will paint me as the villain for breaking up with her at a time when she's beginning a huge life transition, i.e. starting vet school. I get that Facebook is the place where you post all of your highlights and none of your lowlights, but the fact that she hasn't come clean to the people she talks to, and moreover the fact that she's making things ambiguous in the public forum that is Facebook, concerns me immensely. It is her fault, and nobody else's, that this relationship ended. But I fear that when people see a Facebook post detailing how much emotional distress she's in, I'm going to come out as the bad guy. If she gains nothing else from this breakup, I want her to be able to be honest with people about a terrible and inexcusable decision she made. Her friends, especially our mutual friends, her family, and especially any future partners she has, do not deserve to have this hidden from them. And I do not deserve to be painted as a villain for moving on from our relationship when she was unfaithful to me. I don't think I'll be able to forgive her until she's ready to be truthful with herself and the people around her. Hopefully people won't read too much into a Facebook post, but I'm scared that she won't be strong enough to grapple with the consequences of her decision, while I'm left to suffer from it. I've since muted her Facebook feed, but the fact that she's painting herself as the victim in this breakup, inadvertently or otherwise, scares me and angers me immensely. The last couple days, I've been feeling some of the worst pain I've ever felt, the kind of emotional pain that's so intense that your body feels it too. It's been burning in my chest and keeping me awake at night. I'm trying to see this as an opportunity to find out who I am without her and to pursue a better future for me, but I need to get over the pain of knowing that she gets everything she wants, except for me. While I have to completely redefine my identity and my future plans, there is still a long, agonizing road ahead, but I hope I can learn to grow into the man I am and not the man she wanted me to be. Let's see top comments. Pereira 1955. Hi op, I'm so sorry for all the emotions you are passing through. You are doing the right things. Just maintain no contact with her, block her from all the social media, email, messages, and phone, but mainly stop to seek her on FB, IG, and others. You are only self-harming yourself. Just forget her. The less you interact with her, the faster you heal. Sure, you will go for dark times, but be sure that, after this has become worst, then it will come better. OP replies, thank you. I have no intentions to contact her for any reason, and I know that any impulse to do so would only amount to further harm. Forgetting her will be easier said than done, but I'm going to try to take it one day at a time and understand that things will get easier as I get further away from what she did and away from her. 401 Nailhead comments, sorry man. Been there myself. Engaged. Ring. Talking wedding plans. I go back to college. Within a week she is shagging some dude that works 2 doors down. Caught her in the act. Total cluster. I cut it off. Got the ring back. Went complete 100% no contact. Much like you felt like a loser in HS. Note much dating. I thought I found the one. Well, she was not. It took me about 4 years to start trusting again. I found another who loves and respects me. We are 27 years married. So, keep the faith man. You forever is out there. Give it time. You'll find her. 4. Now gray rock this individual in California. Delete all contact/social media. If any ask, tell them the truth what happened. You did nothing wrong. OP replied, I'm sorry you had to go through this too, but I do find some solace in knowing you came out the other end okay. It's amazing how much it went to her head when I was ready to make a lot of sacrifices to be with her. She thought she could do no wrong because she thought I was so madly in love with her that I'd come crawling back no matter what. And she was wrong about that. It'll take some time to put myself out there again to find the right one, but I think somewhere deep down, I do believe that she's out there. 401 Nailhead comments take some time. Do your hobbies. Hang out with your buds. And, sometimes when a good dude is available, the chicks start coming around because they know you are a good dude. You chalk this up as a learning experience. You become more aware of the red flags. I came out better than okay. My wife is the tops. Take her easy. Things will be looking up for you. OP replies, that's been the plan. Stay busy and spend time with people who care about me and who I care about. When I've had the time I need to get my mind right, I think I'll be ready to put myself out there again and learn from the positives of the relationship rather than carrying on the baggage. 401 Nailhead comments, good plan. I also noticed when I was free of the offending girlfriend I was not answering to anyone. I did what I wanted, when and how I wanted. Kind of freeing. Oh, stay out of the bottle. The answer is not at the bottom. I have looked many times. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and also subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the notification bell as well.